our founder flames. This right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe. Uh-oh. Phinix didn't know it was a dance party to kick off. Sarah. Welcome in, Sarah. Just in time. That's right. Ooh, man. Grand Rising, everyone. For that track, for everyone, that was Geometry and Anonymous. Anonymous is an amazing music artist. Makes very, very positive, pure, uplifting, tranquil type of songs. Really positive, island-like beats with beautiful, like, ancestral and feminine sounds. So beautiful. Grand Rising, sister over in Co-Star.
I didn't even know it was time to go live. I was writing out Gematria of Christos, which is 111, by the way. Christ is 77 and Christos is 111. So just bringing in those number codes today.
No way. That's so funny because the artist I just named.
It was Gematria, right?
The artist I just named is named Gematria.
Yeah, I was just writing some Gematria. I think a number.
Oh,
everything
man,
is
here we go.
Right on time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. How are you this rising?
Oh my God. So actually, talk about throat chakra today. Like, I just said some things. I just dropped some things out. Divine law is on my mind. And yeah, I sent a message to someone just saying some very clear things about things I've seen, things that are not seeming correct, like do, like a divine authority. And I never, yeah, I feel like there's an open, I've always felt like my throat chakra is pretty open, but it's not as easy sometimes when you need to say the things that aren't the things that are easily received by others, and you know that, but you have to say them anyways. So I seem to be in that position today. Yeah, on this final day of the cycle, 260 yellow cosmic sun, and it's feeling good. You feel a vibration. You feel like when you say what needs to be said, you feel a vibration break through from your heart to your throat and really like pierce the veil, piercing the truth, and it feels good. I'm actually going to read this prayer. It's just open in my Seven Sacred Seals book. It's called The Lady's Prayer. It's on the final page of this book. It's just sitting here. So um, says, Our Lady, who lives at the heart of all form, hallowed be thy name. May thy queendom come, may thy will be done, that heaven may come to earth. Please allow me this day to drink from your sacred silver spring, and forgive me my forgetting as I learn through your grace to return all non-love with love, and take me by the hand and lead me step by step into the patient valley of your heart. For yours is the earth, my body, and my life forever and ever. What's up, Sarah? You're frozen there, Marcus, but I'm hoping everything's all right. Oh, yeah, you just wrote that. Marcus is frozen. Got it. You're back.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Frozen in time.
A little patience. All right. Phew. Well, grand rising to everyone. Grand day and welcome. We have been exploring and climbing the ladder of that hara, if you want to call it, that column of the human. And we started at the base of the root chakra and we made our way up to the sacral, the solar plexus, and then yesterday we did the heart. And today we are going to be diving into the throat chakra with you guys. And boy, oh boy, don't we love some throat chakra. Talking about moving through our suppressions, moving through our rejections of our voice and our authenticity. It's also learning discernment, learning and listening to the information that you're getting in your energy field. Now, listening isn't just, physical ears. Listening is also your extrasensory. Are you listening to your extrasensory and what's telling you? And then it's also one of the key centers to our ability to listen as well, to be able to receive and be receptive of the information that is being sent to us or being transferred to us. So when we have blockages in the throat, it can become difficult for us to retain information, retain knowledge, because there's not enough space in that energy center to hold the programming. So that's why, as you're going to hear us talk about, give many stories, many knowledge and wisdom tools along this episode, you're going to really hear about what the shadows can look like of the throat chakra, as well as what it can look like to have a balanced and healthy activated throat chakra as well. And we're going to be giving you the perspective of chakra as a whole. And then you'll also be getting the perspective of the sacred seal and the gene keys. And then you'll also be getting our real life experiences as well that we'll be sharing. So enjoy. And this is also an interactive space for all of you in the comments. You're right here with us. I'm sure you guys have knowledge and wisdom as well. So feel free to share in the chat. Share what you know about the throat chakra. Share your experiences. Share your shadows that you're moving through. And we'll gladly be here to flow with you. You might be able to pick up some new tools, receive a little guidance along your pathway, but ultimately also find community that's like-minded, open-hearted, and willing to grow with you as well. That is one thing we prioritize here is community, and we hold these spaces for the opportunity to continue to form these bridges. So as we kickstart, I just want to kind of introduce myself a little bit. I feel like I kind of get on autopilot and I forget to introduce myself every once in a while because some of you guys may be new. And I just want to introduce myself briefly. And then I'd love to let our sister introduce herself as well. So I'm located in Cincinnati, Ohio, mainly. Also in Pennsylvania, but I travel a lot, so I'm not really limited or bound to that type of nature. And I offer many different services. I do trauma healing work. I help with integrating and reprogramming. I help with inner child wounds. I also help you with practices like guided meditation to help regulate the system. I also teach and educate about the chakras, as well as the light body and the energy field. So along with that, I also host retreats, and I hold them very heart-based, and I make everything as affordable as it could be, where I feel there's a balance with everything that I also invest and put into it out of my pocket. And in these retreat spaces, it's really spaces for you to be able to find community and find sacred space where you may not be able to in your everyday life with everything that you have going on, your environments, the people that are around you. And part of it is giving you a sacred space to be able to go through your process, go through your transformation, be able to be surrounded by a positive and healthy environment with compassionate figures that actually care for you and will give you the time of day to listen to you, to give you some guidance if you're open to it, to help you be able to acquire new tools to be able to bring into your everyday life when you deal with your family and your job and your loved ones and things of that nature that resonate. So the retreats are all over the country in the US. Just did a Costa Rica one, planning for Egypt next year. And we're also doing grid work too when we do these, of course. We're activating the grid, we're helping awaken each other's DNA, and also an opportunity to develop your skills and see where you can fit in with a community as well. Because a lot of us out there, man, we're very gifted, very skilled, but we just don't know how to step into our worth. We may not know, where can I be valued? Where can I actually be able to plug myself in and be a productive unit for a community? following my passions, following what I love, and bringing the codes that I came here to anchor. So then, lastly, I am an editor and producer, completely self-taught. No tutorials, no copying anyone, no guidance, just completely self-taught from spirit. And now I have multiple podcast series and shows that I produced, as well as other people's podcasts. And it's all holistic, conscious-based material for self-empowerment. And I offer all this to you guys as well. So all these skills, all these gifts that I've developed through my self-realization, through my self-empowerment, I'm here to serve it for you guys as well. So if you are looking for a podcast, if you are looking for a show, if you are looking to be a part of retreats, whether it's collaboration or a guest, or you're looking for a worldwide community of like minds and soul family, we're here. So reach out time. That is myself, the host of this show, Grand Rising with ChristoLight, and founder of Sacred Light Healing Robots. Completely for everyone. I'm completely sovereign being of service. I do not have any government affiliations. I do not have any third parties. I do not answer to no human authority figure about what I do in my business and my money. So I don't want to put that out there. It's all authentic energy here. There is not a boss man or a government that's a third party for what I do and what it is that I offer with spirit. So I want to also now give an opportunity for our sister Phinix over there to talk a little bit about who she is, where she's located, and what kind of beautiful offerings she has as well.
Thanks, Marcus. Wow, so nice to see you all today. I'm Phinix, or Alicia. That's my God-given name. My mother's given name, Alicia Marie. But yeah, I'm sitting here in Costa Rica, but if you put the word together, it spells Costa Rica, like America, Costa Rica, with star in the middle. I'm here to unite the stars. I'm here to unite the star tribes. I am here to bring awareness to the 0 point technology and the free energy that we are. We represent the Christo Sophia family, sacred family of light, and we are here to assist with the planetary ascensions. And I was initiated on this path after a shocking near-death experience delivering my third child in May 2016. And from that point, initiated into, let's say, X-ray vision of the future of humanity and this planet, going from a context of having no idea what was really, I still thought 9/11 was like a real, thing. And yeah, so everything shifted or started to shift in 2016. So it's been 10 years of the unfolding of this initiation, which has looked like for me, definitely moving to a sovereign path, leaving behind mortgages and clocks and traffic and operating heavy machinery. I don't even drive cars anymore. Yeah, leaving behind my 4,000 square foot home in Austin, Texas, and the $10,000 a year in taxes, and like a bit of a shock for me going from a world like that to all of a sudden exploring concepts such as the Palladians and Sirius and galactic beings and galactic history. And so I like to joke, I went from like really human to really celestial in a short period of time. And throughout that process also picked up quite a bit of extensive knowledge in genetics, DNA, astrology, prophecy, numerical codes of really just the numerical codes of our structure of reality and where we come from and why we're here. And yeah, understanding a little more like our missions and our design and the importance of us in these times to equip ourselves with emotional intelligence personal responsibility for our actions, for our thoughts, for our feelings, for our behaviors, for our patterns, for our addictions. And yeah, really just here as a messenger of light, um, as an informer, as a guardian, actually. I am here as a guardian and a protector of the lands, of the waters, of the people. And yeah, I believe in the importance of us coming together and uniting the tribes. On Mondays and Fridays, Marcus produces a little podcast for me, where I just go over synthesizing the gene keys and the galactic Maya, Vulcan, counting of time, and yeah, weave in my principles of understanding and wisdom and empowerment. And I'm very passionate about a teaching called the Seven Sacred Seals, which I'll bring you into sacred seal number 5 a little later today, connected to the throat chakra. And all connected to the gene keys, but also like weaving in where do we go next from like revelations, and the idea of revelations and the apocalyptic times. Like, are we just waiting for chaos, or are we like piercing the seals and riding the white horse through the sunset? Like, are we waiting for more destruction and shock to take place, or are we kind of pulling up in our regal, noble, valor, virtuous souls, to do the work that must be done on planet Earth? I think more collective than individual these days, and I think about where we're at as a planet and the importance of our roles as individual humans on this planet. And yeah, it all starts with finding peace within yourself, right? That's how we end all war on earth. I learned those principles pretty quick. Find peace within the self. So that's what we're here for. I also do some immersion stuff here in Costa Rica for those that feel the call to come out, where we just sit and we live and we spend some time together and we transfer knowledge and wisdom and about pure clean eating and connecting with nature and connecting with the mind, body, and spirit. And yeah, and then I do some one-on-one stuff too. So please, if you ever are curious, reach out. I love to connect. Don't hesitate. I'm super open and approachable. I would love to receive your message. I'm so happy to connect with anyone that feels the call. And yeah, so I do one-on-one session work, and then we always have those gates open, inviting people for personal one-on-one or family or group sessions here in Costa Rica, and we can talk about what that would look like. It's just custom based on who's feeling the call. So yeah.
Thank you for being you. And that's a wonderful opportunity, guys. Truly, it really is a wonderful opportunity to go to Costa Rica. Phoenix and her family are very, very heart based, and it's not all the time you get an opportunity to really be able to go to a place like Costa Rica and be able to be there and commune with, really healthy and conscious people that really aren't worried about your money and not worried about what you have, but just worried about you as a being. And it's a great opportunity to reset, change your life, and who knows what happens. So if you're someone that, feels that call and you have the finances to be able to take a trip like that, you know, I would definitely consider it, just saying. That's me though. I've been around Phoenix and her family in person in Costa Rica in their home space, and it's just been so beautiful. It's been magic, purity, and just talking about and doing good things. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We're here to serve.
That's right. So everything is a little aqua-y feeling today. So I wanted to bring a little Lemurian ancestry into this before we dive into the throat chakra. I got my Beyond Lemuria deck.
Haven't seen that deck in a while. One of my friends named
Let's
Phinix
see
used to
what
have
the
that deck.
Marion. Venus.
It's gonna happen. What's coming out? I'm getting my tea.
Ooh.
Your stomach is hurting?
Okay. Ooh, okay. So our collective card. Ooh. I love this one. And it's funny, it's number 33. And as I look at it, it's number 33. It said we had 3 viewers and 3 likes. And the card is called Journey to Wholeness. Oof. Look at that. That rainbow bridge just pouring out of the higher heart. Ooh. Journey to Wholeness. I'm just going to read a couple of key words from here and see what it is that the luminary ancestors left us of, and the wholeness that we are part of, but actually are as well, which is so interesting. So we have acceptance, we have wholeness, unconditional love. Ooh, we talked, yes, you guys can check that. Soul fragments returning, accepting others as they are. Ooh, man, this is such a key highlight for me. Staying energetically present, all parts, and healing internal dis-ease. Ooh, yeah, I love this. So, the divinatory meaning in this deck, the Beyond Lemuria deck, for everyone that's just entering the space. Grand day, Sarah. She said, Grand day, Sistar and Bro Thor. So, this is about loving yourself and others from a sense of wholeness, exactly as you are right now in this moment. No could, would, should, but if they should, this is what I think this is what is in this moment. And this is what I'm going to do in this moment because of this intention. Boy, how we can flip the script so quickly with the mental vocabulary that we're spelling on ourselves. It's wild how we can just switch the mind that quickly, like, but, could, would, what if, maybe, oh, it should have been, they need to do this, to just, this is what it is in this moment. And through observing what this is, what are the messages that I'm getting authentically for myself? And now, through my free will, what am I going to choose to do with this interaction, with this experience, with this form? And then you move from there with your intentions. So something I'd just like to remind us of today is, where do your intentions lie in this present moment? Have you been intentional in your daily life? We'd be surprised how many of us are not intentional in our daily life, and we are just on autopilot. or we are being tugged, pulled, and yanked by our family, our job, our school, the government, all these different things. But are we being intentional throughout this process? So it says we may find ourselves in relationships or scenario where we can see great potential is only from we may have concepts of others that are not really who they are due to subconscious projections or ideals. We could have the idea that we will feel better about ourselves when we achieve a goal or status in the future. That success will somehow make everything better. Unfortunately, this takes us out of the present, and this makes our love somewhat conditional when we do this. So to be one that transcends the perspective that the being in front of you needs to be fixed or you need to save, hold the vision that they are perfect as they are from this place. They can heal themselves through the transformative power of acceptance. Acknowledge the full spectrum of a picture and bring any fractured parts back to the present moment. In this place, we are whole and thus have the power to step into the brightest version of ourselves. Wow, potent card. Number 33, Journey to Wholeness. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of, so I do like what I call life guidance with people, intuitive life guidance. And it's where I set people and guide more and just help them develop different perspectives and different ways of communicating and relating to what we call their shadow work. So, you know, I'll help them with analyzing the things that trigger them, the things that cause them to go into fight or flight, or have them frozen or exploding on people, things of that nature. And when I sit with people and I go through this with them, one thing that I do and make sure of when I sit with them is I help them be able to bring it back in to self-responsibility, to developing compassionate inquiry. What is compassionate inquiry? Compassionate inquiry is when we are able to zoom out from the attached emotion, the attached thought form, and we're able to see from a more witness perspective or observation standpoint. And through the observation standpoint, you're able to start bringing in more compassionate inquiry to the experience, and you start to rewrite the story. You start to rewrite the code. So, you know, you can go about something carrying a victim code, and then you go into that polarization of victim victimizer, as Lisa Renee talks about. Or you can choose to see the experience in a code as a wisdom code, if you want to call it that, which is something I've been kind of having come through me a lot, is wisdom codes. You know, you can allow experiences to be detrimental to yourself, or you can allow experiences to be wisdom codes. And when you can see every experience as wisdom codes, then you start to step into that immortality again within your own mind. And you're waiting for more wisdom to develop through your experiences rather than seeing it as a victim. So let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another key that I really sit with and help with people when it comes to stuff is to be able to see the power of the mind and how quickly we can redirect energy and redirect the way that our reality is assimilating for us. So just keep in mind, and this is like such a good reminder of what we may hear, what we may see of someone. It may ultimately not be close to the full picture of who they are. And that's one of those things where, like, judge upon others, judge upon self. Because if we don't know something, because we're through, say, a news outlet, or we only heard something about somebody through reporters that are paid off to do certain things, then it's like, is this a reliable resource to be judging someone in totality of who they are as a soul on their journey? So that's one thing that's been pretty key for me throughout this journey, is really seeing where I can detach from developing a full picture of judgment or forming a full idea of who someone or something may be, especially also knowing that, through the lens of wholeness, which we talked about in this card, is that everything can change. Everything is subject to change. So what we could be judging for this moment could then ultimately go through a journey and process and then become a different spectrum for our collective reality. So it's one of those things where it's like, we reflect on our own journey, our own walk, the darkness that we have acted as, the darkness that we have maybe acted through, and the things of that nature. And to be able to walk through that darkness and step into a new dawn of ourselves with new wisdom and new ways for others on this planetary field. Wow. The journey to wholeness, 33. And of course, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. That is the Beyond Lemuria deck by Izzy Hayes, everyone. Or Izzy Ivy, sorry. Beyond Lemuria. I could help the throat chakra too, when you're able to really discern for yourself, like, is this worth me continuing to strain my energy, to continue to vocalize that beautiful sacral feminine energy that I've been cultivating? Is it really worth it today? Is it worth it today? Is it worth giving my energy to all of this? Am I vocalizing to dead air, kind of? Things like that to think about. Because, man, I know we're these multidimensional beings. And I know our true self is this infinite, beautiful, undescribable being. But once we bottled ourselves into this third dimensional vessel, then it's like, well, you only get so much energy, so much mental power every day. That's why we gotta really just hone in on, as we say, picking our battles. Is this worth the rental of my mind? Is this worth continuously giving my vital expressions? And that may be something to reflect about in this current time, in this world, and everything that's going on. Because sometimes it feels like an endless cycle, especially with the news. So it's like, do we want to keep on like watching the news? And then as soon as we watch the news, we start reacting and judging. And then from there, we then carry that into our day. And then the rest of our day is focused on that. Or do we want to focus on our family? Do we want to focus on our health? Do we want to focus on what we can do with the resources that we have? And that's like one of the biggest, like, I don't even want to call it a crime because it's free will here and you got a choice to rise up or not. But it's one of the biggest ways of manipulation, though, is continuing to be rental free in your own mind. The mind is so powerful. And like, as long as something can just sit in your mind, that's all it takes right there. And then you create an attraction cord, and then your attraction cord is consenting to them. And then you're just going to experience more and more. Where the mind goes, the energy flows. So it doesn't even matter if they're false stories, real stories, propaganda, not propaganda. It's all energy and thought forms. And if we're holding on to these things, real, fake, false, it's energy and it's programming. And either way, it's still going to manipulate your being. So just a reminder, just be wise of any programming at all, whether it's false or real programming. Just be aware of your free will consent with the things that you're watching, the things that you're listening to, especially with music. So I'm going to read just a little bit here from Ascension Glossary. Now I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to our sister Phinix. Let her be able to flow with the gene keys and sacred seal breakdown for the throat chakra. So the throat chakra, also the fifth chakra, if we're starting at the root chakra as number 1, this is our vocal expression that we use to command energy into form manifestation, which is pretty cool when you really think about that. We are some pretty cool beings, guys. So again, the throat chakra is our vocal expression that we use to command energy into form manifestation. When we are aligned with what we are creating and speaking into manifestation, our throat chakra is open and clear. We are learning to become fully comfortable speaking our truth, expressing our authentic self in the 3D material reality. The fifth chakra is a vital part of humanity's spiritual awakening, or as individuals awaken to the authentic aspect of the eternal self. A new voice is born as it aligns to the inner spirit to speak spiritual will. And you'll notice your voice change as well. There'll be periods where you might feel your voice change because of how much lighter and how much density has been released from that throat. We'd be surprised how like clogged up and dense our throat can be until we like really clear it out, get these expressions out, be vulnerable, and then our voice might become lighter. So just a reminder here of the pairing, the coupling of the throat chakra and the sacral, and how they are two key creative energy centers that work together. A sympathetic response in the throat may directly relate to the accelerated sacral. The throat is in principle is masculine energy, and the second is feminine. It's actually really interesting too, is I actually like tapped into the Akashic field and picked up on this factual information on my own intuitively years ago without even seeking it. And it just came to me about the relationship between the throat and the sacral. And it really just made sense to me because when you think about it, the feminine energy, our kundalini or our prana, it begins to activate in the sacral. So then we raise that up the system and cultivate that through, self-worth, willpower, courage, and then we bring it up through our heart and feel it with the unconditional love and connection to all beings. And then we bring that up to the throat, and then we vocalize that, we express it creatively, and co-create into this realm with that energy. So when you think about that, the feminine is the sacral. It's that energy that sustains, brings life and birthing. And then the throat is that masculine energy where you vocalize it, put it forward, and put it into co-creation with the world. So the throat chakra is masculine and the sacral is known as feminine energy. As we are undergoing the masculine and feminine energy integration, this is one of the key processes we are experiencing and why these two creative points unify to work together on clearing old patterns. So I love this right here. It says, say what you mean and mean what you say. On the road to building personal integrity and developing trust and respect between mutual parties and communications, it is important that you say what you mean and mean what you say, and be kind when you say it. This helps to develop and clear blocked energies from the throat chakra. Further align with your words by representing yourself as you really are and doing what you said you were going to do. When you do communicate, reflect upon the intention of the words you choose as being honest, truthful, and trustworthy, as these qualities build strong inner and outer personal integrity. So, I bring this up because there's a lot of us that are very soft. And it's not that I'm saying like you need to be hardened or being soft is anything wrong. But my point is, if you're too soft, when you become a little bit too soft, too pessimistic, like too feminine in your principles, what can happen is you can feel like you're maybe too much on expressing your honesty. Or you can feel that, if you express yourself and be honest about something, just speaking from your heart, because something may be affecting you a certain way, or someone's just not respecting your energy. Well, it can be difficult at times as humans to confront those things and to speak honestly. But that's part of building your personal integrity, is representing yourself. And ultimately that's what that is it's representing yourself. And if you can't represent yourself, who is going to represent you in this world? And if you don't know how to represent yourself, how is anyone else going to know how to represent you in this world? So if you are looking for spaces where you can be truthful, where you can be honest, where you can unload and be vulnerable, transmute, reach out to one of us, please. We will gladly hold space with you. And then, of course, we have a community, retreat spaces, and more for these purposes. Another thing, too, is what can happen is if we deny our voice, and we deny that we're going to be worthy and valuable of speaking honestly, we can then block up our throat. And then what we can do is we can become so subconscious of ourselves that we might start talking down on ourselves internally. And that will cycle through our throat chakra. Talking down on ourselves, we're too much, we're not worthy of speaking, we're going to be too much, we're going to be judged, things of that nature. So a little bit of universal connection for you guys when it comes to the throat chakra. It connects to Taurus in the zodiac. Then it connects to the jaw, the teeth, the ears, the neck, the jugular veins, the thyroid gland, the throat chakra also connects to the 5th dimension. So the 5D mentor mind upgrade. This upgrade is changing the configuration of the solar plexus, its mental body functions, and its relationship to the throat center and its light body. We are now reaching into the deeper levels of our inner sanctum by focusing our consciousness on our core. This inner sanctum is our still point and is a high function of the human light body consciousness technology. The throat and sacral are two key creative energy centers that work in energetic collaboration with each other. So then it talks about the higher mind, or the mentor field, is an intelligent energy body that is activated between the 5th dimension and 6th dimensional self, the archetypal mind and the celestial mind of the upper soul matrix. So that connection between the throat and the third eye is your connection into the higher mind, the intelligent energy body with the lower soul matrix. Okay. So then this couple last little highlights for the throat is some practices that you can utilize is going into secure spaces and doing vocal toning. So there's many ways to do vocal toning. You can just channel the energies that you want to channel to just break open the blockages And honestly, you could do screaming if you're in the right environment. You can do very, I'm going to use the word aggressive, but aggressive in the way of not aggression towards another, but you can do aggressive vital practices, such as taking a pillow and hitting the pillow against your balcony rail, and then just vocalizing and getting out the expressions that have been stuck and stored. Those are ways to be able to just push masculinely those energies out and get them out of your body to be expressed out into the field. And then you can do things such as affirmations in the mirror, where you're speaking positively to yourself, you're identifying your positive traits, you're giving yourself love, giving yourself grace, things of that nature. And then also too, try to take advantage of the opportunities you have with safe community and environments where you can be vulnerable, as well as listen to others and develop deeper connections through compassion and understanding. Then we have our lovely foods and herbs. You have like the blueberries, the raspberries. I know there's eggplant as well. I know chamomile is good for the throat. Elderberry is really good for the throat as well. And then crystals. Got my lapis lazuli heart right here. Lapis lazuli is always a good one. Then you have labradorite. You have chrysocolla, sodalite, turquoise. All right. So that will do it for my deep dive into the details of throat chakra. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to our sister over there. You're on mute, by the way.
Thanks, Marcus. I'm waiting for my Andara crystal I want to share with you at some point, but Eduardo's twisted like a pretzel in yoga, so when he's done, he's going to bring it to me because I want to bring that. Oh, you got it?
Little problem in the indigestion.
Yeah, River woke up last night and got sick.
For healing her stomach. Yes. It's pure medicine.
How's she doing?
It's so much better. He throw. We have a little temperature. Now I give a massage. We practice yoga. The best you fasting and make a little posture meditation. This is the real medicine. We eating some plants and receive the sun.
We like to carry our crystal in a little UFO sock here. So here's your UFO for the day. This is the mothership flying in. Hi, River. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Hello. Yes, you do feel a little warm.
Hey, there she is.
I love you. My little angel.
She made it for the episode.
She came to say hi. She was dropping some wisdom last night. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, go find me. And yeah, she had all the 5-year-old things to say about yourself and being strong and everything's going to be okay. It was so cute. So here's the little concoction Eduardo just made. We love copper. Copper as medicine. We wear it on our bodies, and then we also use it to amplify our energy and amplify just what the crystal is doing. And to me, crystals are the real computers. They're the real technologies. We store information in crystals. And then when we do body work or energy work with people, we're transferring that love, that energy, that infinite power to the people that we work with. And so never underestimate, like, I know sometimes people will call crystals like woo-woo and all of this stuff. And I'm like, no, they're medicine. They really can be used. They're actually beings. They're actually really beings. And they all just jumped at you guys over there. So yeah, this is the one I really wanted to bring in, and my Andara, which is totally celestial, matches the colors that we've got going on. This one produces this white material. It regenerates itself. I call it like its own Ormos. It looks similar to what you might call an Egyptian Andara. When we first found this, I had just started hearing about Andaras, the idea of fifth dimensional crystals that were planted in the earth. And when I first was coming into all of this stuff, I thought it was all woo-woo and crazy, just to be really honest. It took me some time to really start to open my mind and open my heart to the depth of our reality beyond this physical plane that we were born into, with the limitations of what we've been taught about who we are and where we come from, and the histories of our planet and the histories of wars and things like that. And so, yeah, crystals have been a big part of igniting and activating the memory, and also absolutely with healing. And sometimes I call this a prophecy stone, and sometimes when I speak, I put it directly on my throat. I remember this one time I had a friend visiting, and her daughter, I think her name was Artemis. And I let her hold the crystal, and she put it on her throat, and she started singing this song and saying this, like, almost like a riddle. And I was like, has she said that before? And she was like, no, I've never heard her say anything like that. And it was like she had received, you could say, like her own revelation or channeling through this technology. So anyways, I see the throat chakra, like, first of all, it seems like the whole world is having thyroid problems. I understand it's one of the highest prescribed medications out there. And if I hear of anyone that's on this type of medication or has anything going on with any kind of organ around the throat, I mean, I'm first going to go, did you have sexual abuse? And are you siphoning yourself? Are you silencing yourself? Are you editing and auditing yourself? Are you living a lie? I mean, that's pretty much the first question I ask anybody about anything. If something's going wrong with their physical or emotional body, are you living a lie? And I mean, that's a pretty deep question to ask. And it's a contemplative question where you really have to, like, ask yourself, like, where am I not standing up where I'm being called to stand up? Where am I standing up for something that I don't agree with? Where am I complying with something I don't agree with? Where am I not complying? And it's like really about being your authentic self. So your authentic voice comes from that, of course. And so I'm all about the purification process and getting really honest and real with ourselves. And then also on the path of the oracle, it's like purify my mind, body, soul, and spirit, purify my vision, open my eyes so I can see clearly. And when I see clearly, because I've done the honest work, may I speak clearly about what I see. And that's an oracle. And they're not mentioned so much in the biblical text, but the power of the oracle is something that's been missing from this dimension for a long period of time. And one of the biggest wounds has to do with the oracle, or the one that is carrying intuition, to question what they see and to be silent. And so even in the midst of many teachings around like silence and meditation and being quiet, which I believe there's always a time and a space for those things, there are also times to not be silent. And so learning that within yourself is so important. And really just, that's why I say with the oracular information, it's like, say what you see. And so you have to understand that what you see could be distorted. It could be a projection also, but it doesn't mean that you might not say it. And I try to maintain, we open this up with this prayer about the ladies' prayer. It says, allow me to return non-love with love. I always speak with love, compassion, and a deep calmness in my heart, no matter what it is that I need to say or have to say or want to say. There's a time, again, to be in the silence and the rest, and there's a time to say something. And so a lot of times, unfortunately, we've audited or edited ourselves and kept ourselves from saying the things that need to be said. And sometimes we're just running around talking about stuff that doesn't mean anything. And so that's my my invitation for all of you, to really exercise your voice when it matters. Say no when you need to say no, and say it loud and clear. And say yes when it's time to say yes, and say that loud and clear. And really just get to know yourself within yourself, and do not compromise about who you are. If something doesn't feel right, don't go along with it. And so that's the power of using the voice when you need to. I talk a lot about just, the guardians and the protectors, protecting your children, saying what needs to be said when it needs to be said. It could be something like, one day I was at a retreat center, and this guy who was the doctor was visiting, and he picked up River without our permission and put her on his lap and started doing the little giddy up horsey. And we were like, no, thank you. And like, sometimes there's this thing, it's like, oh, he's just being a nice guy, and like whatever. But it was like, no, thank you. Pick up the child, like, yeah, how many times have we seen or felt something that doesn't feel right and not said anything about it? So use your voice. Use your voice when it matters. Don't question it for a second. And sometimes, unfortunately, because an empath will think, oh, if I say this, it's going to hurt someone, it's going to offend someone, it's going to make someone feel uncomfortable. Okay. That's totally fine. It doesn't mean it doesn't need to be said. So that's just a little bit about the throat. And I've had examples, like I met a woman who, a sweet soul sister, we're not really connected so much anymore, but she met us here in Costa Rica. She was visiting, and she knew that she was connected to the Lyrans and galactic and cosmic, celestial, but she had not really ever told anyone. And when she met us, me and Eduardo and River, she felt like a level of comfort that she could speak with us and start to share. And she was like, you guys are pretty much the only people that I've actually been able to like talk about this with. And she had light language to share and had never really shared that with anyone. And she was also having thyroid stuff going on with her body. And yeah, we were just encouraging her to like be herself everywhere and say who you are everywhere. And that's how we start to unify ourselves and come into wholeness, in fact, is that you're who you are wherever you are, no matter what. You're not like, oh, I'm at this place around these people, so I'll play this character. I'm at this place around these people, so I've got to play this character, right? Like, to come into wholeness of yourself means that you're whole, healed, and complete any and everywhere that you go. And I also say this about the awakening coming up right now, because sometimes when you're awakening to new truths, it's like you feel like you're all alone, and also maybe you're like hiding it and you don't really want to talk out loud about it, and maybe you start studying stuff but you're keeping it to yourself. And what I'm learning is that everyone's going through this, and so the more that you come out of the closet and start to talk about what it is that you know to be true, and then the more that they're feeling invited and open to start talking about what they're going through and what they're experiencing. And it can really start to open up the gates and create new conversations. And that's what we need. Like, I'm not here for how's the weather. You know, and this is just my design. I like to go into the depths right away. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you here for? What's your mission? Like, let's get to it. And so I learned that when I first found the gene keys, because I went through this near-death experience, and then I moved to the Costa Rica jungle, and then I'm studying all this deep material. But I had this judgment in my head. I was like, oh, a lot of people won't understand this, or they'll think it's crazy, or it's not Christian. Like, I had all of these types of thoughts coming in. And finally, I was just like, I just got to come out and be who I am and trust what goes and trust what comes. And, you know, there were a lot of people that were very much on a more rigid, judgmental path. And I was way too out there for them, and they had to disappear out of my life, and that was totally fine. But I was no longer judging myself, and I was free to speak the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And yeah, you just trust that, you know, when you're your authentic expression, you'll start to bring people around you that can see and respect and honor that authentic expression. So this is connected, the throat chakra is connected to the 5th seal, sacred seal number 5. And it has to do with healing the core wound of guilt. It also is the connection to turning on what's called your Buddhic body. Now, in the gene keys, you would connect this 5th seal to gene key 4, which is actually the seal of forgiveness. So the shadow of this key is intolerance. The gift is understanding. And the city is forgiveness. And this forgiveness we're talking about is not just a mental decision that you made, but it's actually like a cellular forgiveness through your entire body. You know, it's the ability to understand and see the bigger picture of why anyone's done anything or why anything's ever happened, like to really be able to see that bigger picture, to really understand it in the body, can bring a cellular healing to the body. And that's what we're looking for in the wholeness path, is total forgiveness. Now, the power of this seal, this 5th seal, is about, on a collective level, is about ending all war and the healing between races. So I'm going to read you the unlocking of the 5th seal. And this is from my Gene Keys book. And it's Gene Key 22. And this is the opening of the 5th seal of forgiveness. The 5th seal is opened through the 4th city of forgiveness. As one of the great involving cities of grace, forgiveness has a special purpose: to work its way backwards into the collective DNA of humanity, releasing the many karmic blocks that plague the various gene pools. The 5th seal is specifically targeted to heal the patterns of unconscious guilt upon which karma is built. Guilt is a kind of karmic debt which exists between one person and another, or even between one race and another. And I think of that more like galactic races. Like, I don't know, can we heal our relationship to the reptilians, to the Anunnakis, to the Greys? Sometimes we think only in human terms, like, oh, you're this color race, you're this color race, but we're talking more galactic races because we're here to resolve galactic history and galactic karma. As the power of forgiveness works its way into the human genome, so many ancestral curses will finally be lifted. This seal in particular has the capacity to create world peace, as individuals and whole nations forgive others the debts they are owed. The grace that comes with forgiveness has unprecedented power and brings a sense of true justice back to humanity. Forgiveness is a direct manifestation of the fifth body, the Buddhic body, which has the capacity to literally burn karma out of our DNA. At a collective level, the releasing of all this world karma will bring an end to war. So we're talking about on a collective level, bringing an end to war and burning karma out of our DNA and the healing of the wound of unconscious guilt. So one of the things that you can do with that too is just ask yourself if there's any level of guilt that you're carrying that maybe you weren't even conscious of. And can you make that conscious? And once you are consciously aware of it, is it possible, especially in the energies of this lunar eclipse, to purify and release any unconscious guilt? And then the other thing, just from a physical note of just the physical activity, I love working with tones. And there are no rules to that game. And if you can get to a river or get to a space where nobody really is, and you just start working with your sound. Have you ever noticed that, like, if you're able to sing louder, you might be able to hit a note that you wouldn't be able to hit at a lower rate or at a lower decibel, I guess you could say. And so it's also nice to be in places that kind of can echo sound. I think that's why churches are so beautiful. Anytime I go into like a church, I love to start singing and feel the technology pick up the sound in my voice and sing throughout and echo throughout. But anyways, you can do this anywhere and just really work with the sound and start to play with tones and start to play with just playing with music and hitting sounds and not thinking about what other people think of it. That's the other thing that I think there's a lot of wounding around the voice is I believe that we're all singers. I believe that we're all artists. I believe we're all healers. And I believe that we have the power in our voice. And a lot of the lack of our voice, because the sexual center is connected so deeply to the throat. And maybe you've seen pictures where you look at like the actual vaginal walls are very similar to the throat chakra. If you were to put them together, they look similar in size and shape. And so when you start to understand that, you can see there's even actually my friend Annie Williams, she plays the harp and she honors the mother and always like her music is very beautiful. She lives in France. She works with the harp and has gone into the Egyptian pyramids and sings about Mother Mary and Hathor and all of it. Anyways, Annie Williams is her name, A-N-I Williams. But she does this thing called bioacoustic sound. And it's actually connected to astrology. And it has to do with like, there's a note connected to each astrological sign. And basically the signs that you can or cannot hit with your voice have to do with opportunities to heal something within the astrological wheel. It's fascinating and it's deep, and it really does help you understand a little more about the idea of karma. So anyways, you know, I like to, you literally, you don't have to be perfect at this. It's not about putting out a performance or anything like that. And I think that's what keeps people from doing art too. It's like, you know, you don't paint because you know you're not going to paint like the most famous picture in the world. So you just don't do it, versus like the actual healing taking place is through the art of creating art. It's not really about if anybody sees it or hears it later and says, that's great. It's about your body actively going through the creative process. So I would say that, you know, through some of my time working responsibly with medicines, that helped me open my heart and receive songs and start to sing more and get comfortable with my voice and then start to like pick up a note in my head and bring a song through. And so it used to be that I just sang songs in the car or at karaoke, but then all of a sudden it turned more into divine inspiration, drop-ins. So when our mind isn't so cluttered and busy with thoughts that don't matter, and you're sitting more in the stillness and you're not caught up in the mental plane, you can really start to receive divine inspiration, ideas, thoughts, music, things like that. So So you can work with just the sound and the voice and play with it and surprise yourself and just like, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting energy vibrating through the mechanics of your throat chakra, of your voice. And so I usually, like, you can even you can play with me here with this. You can put your hands on your throat and then just start making, even as I'm talking right now, it's like, I never know what's going to come out. I might trip up, I might mess up. It doesn't matter. I'm just getting sound through my body. That's what it is about. And so you just play with it and you play with it, and you never know where you might surprise yourself and hit a note that you couldn't hit before. And so I've actually seen this idea of like creating these healing chambers where it's kind of like a clay, I don't want to say tomb, not exactly a tomb, but like the idea of like a clay setting, and you're laying inside of it, and possibly with a beehive at your head because it's buzzing. And I don't know if you guys know about the vibration of bees buzzing. So just think about that. The bees are buzzing and they're like, and they say like beekeepers have this special thing about like longevity in their life because of the vibration. They're constantly around this vibration and the sound and the tone of the bees. So imagine you're like laying in this little vault and you've got bees buzzing around you, but also that while you're in that vault, that you're buzzing yourself and you're literally just making whatever sounds and vibrations and tones that you need to for hours at a time even. And just bringing the power of your own sound, because you're your own healer. So someone else can sing and tone to you and even do sound bowls and sound healings. But the best thing is for you to start working with your voice technology, your sound technology, and really starting to awaken that voice within yourself. It's not for anybody but yourself. And it also might be for others, if you're open to that. And it's also very fun to go to like a sound circle or a song circle or sit around a fire. And, I know all the things that fuck with your head around not speaking up or not singing. When I first came to Costa Rica and I started coming around some of these little circles and stuff, and people are singing songs and like playing drums, and I was like, no. Or like they would do like a meditation, and then at the end, like everyone in the group would have to say 3 ohms. And I was like, everyone's going ohm and I'm just totally silent. Like I remember there was a time where it was awkward for me, and I had to break through that. Yeah, I have some, thank you. I had to break through that funny little threshold that tries to talk you out of using your technology. I see a little comment down here, but I don't know what it is. Oh, Danita, what's up? Yeah, so that is what we're talking about. It's just like using the voice, using the toning, using the power, using the singing. And remembering this technology that we have, never being silenced again. This is like a centuries old healing. And so, activating the throat chakra in so many different ways. And it is about like speaking life with your voice. Truly. We're either speaking poison or speaking life, we're speaking inspiration, or we're speaking death. So truth and honor are words that are coming to my mind too, speaking truth. And then of course there's just that, what is the truth? What is truth? Well, there's your truth and what feels true for you. Like if something doesn't feel right and you need to say, no, thank you. You know, if someone or something doesn't feel right, or if someone or something doesn't feel honest or true, or, you know, whatever it is, say what you see. But do that honest inner work so that when we're refining on the inside, that's what's coming out of our voice is also refining. So that's really the fifth seal, and I'm just going to show you the sigil of it. It's and then tomorrow we'll go into the fifth seal. And I forgot to show the fourth seal yesterday, so just in case anyone was on yesterday and then you're on today too, I feel like I want to show you the fourth seal because I didn't show you. So today is the fifth seal. This is the invocation of the fifth seal. And it's connected to Gene Key 4, forgiveness. It's connected to the star Vega. The quality of this seal is diffusing, which is interesting because I'm always talking about diffusing the bomb within you. You know, if you've got some kind of explosion going on within yourself, can you diffuse that bomb? Like, what is that bomb about? That you need to react to something or externalize something? Can you diffuse a war? Can you diffuse a battle? The archangel is Zadkiel. The wound is guilt. The I Ching line is line 5, and it's connected to the Buddhic body. And the prime teaching of this seal is forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is freedom. And it's connected to the fifth ray of inner light and pearl essence. And then since I didn't show you the fourth, I'm just going to show you that one here. This is the invocation of the fourth seal that we did yesterday. I like it because it's got that rainbow vibe. And the inner light of iridescence, ray 4, Gene Key 43, the city of Epiphany, the star of Aldebaran, the quality is catalyzing. The archangel is Haniel. The wound is rejection, healing the wound of rejection. The I Ching line is line 4. And the subtle body is the causal body. And the prime teaching of the fourth seal is we are the epiphany. So we've been going through sacred seal number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll bring in the 6th tomorrow. And then we'll finish this off with the 7th next week, I think, or maybe. And then I'll probably have a little meditation that I received one day that was about like going through all of the seals or all of the chakras and basically spitting these discs and turning them into like crystalline structures beyond primary colors. Yeah, maybe at some point I'll do a little meditation about that and like unifying and opening up this whole channel of life. I don't usually do a lot of meditation because I'm always just like talking in the flow, but this is one I received like many years ago. And I haven't practiced it too much these days, but it's definitely a really fun step in like activating the light body and uniting all of the chakras into basically one pillar of light. Yeah, and blasting off, but landing at the same time because we're not going anywhere. We're bringing this divine intelligence down into our physical bodies. We are eternal, we are divine. And it's time that we remember that and live in divinity in every single thing that we do and speak. So thank you all for, my white roses are falling here. Thank you all for chilling with us. Thanks for doing the work. Thanks for opening your minds, bodies, hearts, and souls.
Phew. Wow. These episodes have just been so beautiful. so on point. And like, just how beautiful to like be able to bring in so many different perspectives and really give everyone a lot of different ways to look at things. Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, these are the new ways that we're rolling with things. You know, we just come as our expression and bring our perspectives, and then everyone can pick and choose what feels right for them. And there's always something to pick up from the many versions of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So I was just working on my description for my October shamanic retreat I'm hosting, and I'm writing up a description for my cacao. Oh gosh, I'm like so excited just to share it. It's gonna be a cacao and Quetzalcoatl rainbow body activation. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun. Gonna bring a clearing to the light body system, bring in some beautiful heart opening with the cacao, bring into a meditation, some sound healing, and just recalibrate, bring us back into that golden form with the rainbow body flowing.
I love it. The feathered serpent, bringing that lower energy up to the wings and flying, levitation. Nice goal.
That's right. That'll be October 17th weekend for everyone out there. I host a shamanic healing retreat, and I actually have a Quechua Peruvian medicine keeper come out from the Andes, as well as understudies here in America. And they share beautiful blessings and teachings of the Incan lineage, as well as despacho ceremonies, which if you don't know what despacho is, oh man, it's so beautiful. Just look up despacho ceremony. And, you know, basically they make mandalas, they use different plants, different parts of earth, and depends on the intention. The one that we did last year, they did one for the balance of the masculine and feminine. So they had red flowers, they had white flowers, then they made a mandala, perfect balance to represent them. And then they would speak in their traditional Incan language, do some bells, call in the spirits, the ancestors, and then each person would be able to come up one by one to the mandala. And then the medicine keeper would have their, oh shoot, I forgot the term they use. It's the bundle that they carry with their stones, and then they wrap it in the blanket. I forgot what the term is called they use, but they take that and then they use that to cleanse everyone's energy field, and then open up the portal, open up the channel with the mandala for the masculine and feminine to be able to bring their balancing forces to everyone. It's so beautiful. You know, it has nothing to do with any substances, no drugs, no alcohol. It's all spirit medicine. And yeah, it's just a beautiful opportunity. We provide the meals. You get to listen to some live music. You get safe community, no alcohol, no hard drugs, things of that nature. So October 17th weekend in Ohio. Just reach out to me if you have questions. So I wanted to close this out with a little bit of the throat chakra, quartz singing bowl. Just give you guys a little bit of vibratory attunement to help with integrating all this knowledge and information today, and to also just support and where the balance of your throat chakra could be today. So, if we may, feel free to get comfortable and get ready. And then we'll be back in 44 seconds to kickstart the sound healing. As we move into the space, may we just relax our body, relax our shoulders if we're holding tension in the shoulders, relax our toes and our fingers, elbows, and relax our teeth and jaw as well. Yourself to the breath, breathing in through our nose, slowly, and then just drawing that breath down to the throat, and just feeling breath through the throat center, into the nose, through the throat, and as we continue to focus on this breath, I will continue with the sound. And with the breath inside of our mind, seeing, being, and aligning with every breath, releasing and clearing any blockages, any stagnation, toxic, soupy energies that are clogging up the throat. It's taking nice, patient, gentle, deep breaths. Making our way back to our physical reality. Whenever it is that we're ready, thank you all for and I just want to give a final reminder for this throat center. That is respect. Respect and dignity with the throat center. Just having the integrity to discern when to speak, what to speak on, and how to speak on it. Being mindful with our heart of compassion. Are we cutting down for others with our words? Or are we uplifting them for ourselves with our words? Are we sugarcoating and bypassing, perpetuating? Or are we being straightforward, clear, and honest through love? Just a couple last reminders for our throat center and continue. And I'll allow our wonderful as well. If you'd like to give any closing words for our wonderful audience today. And thank you, Sister Phinix from CoStar, for delivering soulful wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah, it's about to never stop singing. Don't ever stop singing. You can sing your way through anything, to anything, out of anything. If you ever get caught in a storm, in a cloud, in a down space, just start singing. It moves the energy up. It moves the energy out. Don't ever stop singing. That's the main thing, is like you can sing yourself out of any situation, any emotion, any bad thinking. Music helps everything, not just to listen to it and feel it, but to actually sing it. And so don't forget that you have a voice. Use your voice. Don't lose your voice. Use it or lose it. Oh yeah, and I'll leave you with this perfect little visual as we're approaching the 144 minute. Probably all of us have seen The Little Mermaid and Ariel in The Little Mermaid. And so the Little Mermaid wants to be a human. And so she goes down into the deep depths of the underworld with the little octopusy witch woman. And in order for her to be a human, she has to give her voice. And so I'm not kidding. At the 1 hour and 44 minute in Ariel, which we're rolling into the 1 hour 44 right now, in The Little Mermaid, she sings her voice. And it's literally showing her voice leaving her body, and the big octopus witch bitch has the shell, and she captures her voice and stores her voice. It's held captive. She made a deal. She made a contract. She signed a contract. In the movie, that's what she does. She signs the contract. She gives her voice. She makes the deal with the dark witch. And so, like, in a way, to me, that's symbolic. All of these Disney movies have many dimensions and levels to them, dark and light, but there are messages for us to receive from them about where we've made contracts, where we've made deals, where we've given up something. You know, sometimes we've lost our voice because we made a deal with the devil and we might not even know it. And so, like, just pay attention and go through as we spike the memory with these drop-in codes. It's like something will come up to you all of a sudden when you're driving in the car, or like chopping vegetables in the kitchen, and you're like, you'll start to remember a time or a person or a situation where you made a deal or you gave something up or whatever it is, you know. And then sometimes it's nice to just watch that movie again and think about that movie, you know. I want to go where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them again? Oh yeah, feet. I love that song so much, actually. But don't lose your voice. Sing. Break all deals and contracts with the dark side, whatever they are, whenever they are, whyever they are. Free yourself from your contracts and agreements that you've made in your life. I'm telling you, when you start to think like that, you do a little inventory check about the deals and the contracts you've made with people over the terms of your life. I promise you, shit's going to come up. We're right in this eclipse right now. And that's why it's coming up, is because you're freeing yourself. So you might have memories come up. You might have people and situations and encounters and interactions that you've had come up, and pay attention to those. And it would be the perfect time to like write those things out and burn that in the fire on the lunar eclipse tomorrow at 12:12. Like I had pulled the report for like 22:22 tomorrow. So like, you know, the end of the night, kind of going from the dark to the next day, which is, by the way, I wanted to show you guys. So here we are. We're finishing up this entire 260 day Zolkin today. It's 260 yellow cosmic sun. It's the final kin of the entire 260 days. And it's black because it's a galactic activation portal. The cosmic tone is about taking cosmic flight. The yellow sun is about enlightenment, and it's part of the yellow star wave. But anyway, so tomorrow we start out kicking off number one, which is the red magnetic dragon. We're starting a brand new cycle together. And the eclipse will come at the late end of kin number one, rolling into kin number two, the white lunar wind, which is also the kin of Terrence McKenna, one of my fave dudes out there. But anyway, so we're just rolling, like today we're closing it down and tomorrow we're opening it up. So yeah, it's a perfect time to be thinking about anything that's happened in your life that you need to release or let go of. Addictions, patterns, behaviors, habits, contracts, agreements, connections that are no longer serving, belief systems, deals with the devil. It's a perfect time to clean it all up. So yeah, sending you all so much love. Hola, Danica. Love you, sister of the rose. I got my white roses in today. Yeah, have a beautiful day, everyone. And we'll be back tomorrow for Thine Eye Be Single. The body fills with light, light, light.
The Ajna. Ooh, I can't wait for those quotes. Oh boy. I love talking about letting the lamp be bright, and when the lamp is in darkness, then disease is through the being. Oh boy, that's gonna be a fun one. Third eye chakra tomorrow, everyone. 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tune in. Grand Rising with ChristoLight with myself, Marcus ChristoLight, and our wonderful co-star sister, Phinix returns. And then you guys have the treat to tap in with her on Friday at 10:44 a.m. Eastern. This Friday, she'll be live for Unite the 144th, breaking down the Gene Keys and Wave Spell. And guess what? Then it'll continue next week, and then the next week. So we'll see you guys. And one love.
One love. See you.
The 12-dimensional shield building technique. My declaration of intention is to serve my source. I commit to serve my highest power fully, completely, and totally. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Prepare for meditation. Visualize and feel your connection. Imagine a platinum six-pointed star, the Star of David, in the center of your brain. As you move that 6-pointed star, your Merkaba star, down the center of your body, see it passing through each chakra and releasing from in between your legs. Send your 6-pointed star to the center of the earth, to the Earth Star. As you connect your star with the Earth Star, feel unconditional love and unity for all. As you connect to the 12th dimensional platinum light, feel that light building momentum through your entire body. As you connect and fill up with the platinum energy, see your 6-pointed star returning back to you, and let it stop at a position 12 inches beneath your feet. As you focus on your 6-pointed star, it will start to spin. As it spins, it will build momentum and create a platform of platinum silver light. This is your 12th dimensional shield. As the shield strengthens, it will build an upward movement of a pillar of platinum white light. Allow that pillar of light to build to a position about 3.5 feet above your head. Feel and sense your entire body encased in the 12th dimensional platinum white light. Allow every cell and every pore of your body to be radiating in the platinum white light. As you focus again in that position, 12 inches beneath your feet, visualize your 6-pointed Merkaba star. Now draw your Merkaba star up through the center column of your body, letting it pass through your chakra column and releasing out of the top of your head. Send your star to a position 3.5 feet above your head. As your Merkaba star again begins to spin, see it create a shield at the top of your 12th dimensional pillar of light. Feel yourself fully encased from top to bottom in your 12th dimensional platinum shield. Now multidimensionally ground your shield by focusing on your 6-pointed star at the position 3.5 feet above your head. You now are going to send your Merkaba star out towards the cosmic heart of our universe, towards Andromeda. As you connect to the core of the universe, allow the crystal star to emanate its connection to you. As you feel protected and supported in your 12th dimensional pillar of light, say within your heart, "Thank you, God, and thank you, Ascension Guides. I am unity." And so it is.